Them putting the chat in sub only mode is very, very discouraging. Why isn't my lamp turning on? Oh great, my lamp won't turn on. Is it not plugged in? Yo, this OST though? OST going dummy? The freak is going on my lights. Bro, nothing is working. Let me update my lights real quick, chat. How y'all doing now? What's the wave? Remember, once you guys, if you guys do want the emblem, you have to go to the official Bungie stream. Let me go live on TikTok too. Yo, those new Marvel skins look gas. I ain't gonna lie to you. They do look heat. There's something wrong with my lamp. My lamp won't turn on. It's okay. This is not bright enough. This sound like a superhero OST. Like they about to go to war and they just won it with victory on their side. How y'all enjoying Remnant, BD, if you don't mind me asking? Hope you're having a good time. I think we're good to go. Bro, what? Wow, that was cool. We starting, chat. We starting. Hold on. This might be worth a Google Doc.
Distance or in time. You're gonna get a call. An invitation only you can answer. And you'll say yes.
Let me make sure I'm getting my emblem tracking progress.
Never say no.
I am, okay.
Is real.
I don't know, man. They still not sure. Oh wait, that's new. Oh, that's the raid. We ain't never seen that look. I thought this was Black Ops. I ain't never seen something like this. We saw our first sneak peek at the raid, chat. I'm gonna buy my freaking thing in a week. In like next week.
Hello, welcome to Bungie. Welcome back.
Okay, man. Come on, I gotta cook.
What you just saw was our launch trailer. We
I
are
gotta
14
cook.
days away from
14 days away, bro.
2 weeks. Pretty insane.
Ooh.
Today we're going to be talking about what activities are on Kepler. What can you expect from world tiers as you're going through for replayability? And to introduce that, we actually have a wonderful human being on the couch next to me. Did I introduce myself? My name's Dylan. Hi. Your name is Robbie. Hello. Let's actually get a real introduction for you. How you doing?
Hey, Dylan. It's great to be here. I'm the assistant game director for Destiny 2.
Where is the game director? Where is Tyson Green at?
Working with the broad Destiny 2 team and creating this game for our players and charting a new course to some new frontiers here with the Edge of Fate. Just 14 days away.
Yeah,
crazy.
Right?
It's awesome. Yeah.
I keep
2 weeks away from another year of Destiny, chat.
Huh? It's already here. So today we're going to be looking at Kepler. Can you give us a quick overview? What are we going to be looking at?
Yeah, so we're going to be looking at some of the free roam experience on Kepler, and we're also going to be taking a sneak peek at the end of one of our campaign missions that's replayable in the post game after you complete the campaign of the Kepler experience. We're also going to be talking here about our world tiers a little bit, which we've talked a little bit about in the stream, and we're going to talk about a lot more here today. And so what we're showing on screen right now is the world tier difficulty selector that's on the destination. And so right now we're in the Fabled difficulty, and so Brave and Legendary, you can play through the campaign, you can play through the main quest, the story of the release, and Brave or Legendary, doesn't matter. But after you do that, you're going to unlock Fabled and Mythic difficulties. Now, the difference here, though, is with these difficulties, power is fully enabled. And so that means when you step out of either Brave or Legendary, you're going to probably be able to do Fabled. Most people will be able to do Fabled. Some people might need a fire team, but if you want to play Mythic, you're really going to have to climb power. And the difficulty really escalates, and then the gear gets better. And so if you're hunting for that, that tier 2+, 3, 4 loot, right? You're going to be needing to play and Fabled Mythic to find that.
Okay.
Higher tier loot, yeah.
I didn't get to see the buffs. Oh, look at that map.
Really quick, what is the state of our fire team? You were mentioning we're in Fabled, so this is going to be after they've already done their first playthrough.
Yeah. So this fire team has played through the Legendary campaign. campaign, right now they are inside of the Gorge, which is one of our 4 major regions of Kepler, and they are in free roam right now, and they are going through one of our free roam encounters. And so the other thing I should call out here is
I was about to say, why is this dude using the
these
primary?
free roam
But that's a
encounters,
freaking special.
there are reasons to basically go back through the destination using your new abilities in new ways. And so,
What's the
sorry,
reasons?
can you ask me that question one more time? Like, I feel like I answered it, but then I segued into something else.
I said, what state is our fire team?
Oh,
Post-campaign.
Yeah. We're post-campaign. We're sorry.
Ooh,
we're
another
hunting
another
higher tier loot and gear
burst
tier on the
linear.
destination, and they're also doing some of our post-game quests. So both Fabled and Mythic have their very own quest associated with them as part of the post-game. That are one part of like completing the Triumphant Seal to earn some exclusive cosmetics and emblems, but also these world quests unlock some additional loot in the game as well. So specifically the Mythic quest that's associated with that world tier unlocks a variant armor set for the Kepler armor. So as you're playing through the campaign and throughout the experience, there's a 2 and 4 set piece bonus on the Kepler armor set. Once you complete that Mythic world tier quest, you unlock a variant of that has a different set bonus and a unique shader on it as well.
Awesome. Yeah, and for folks that you didn't tune in last week or you haven't heard about gear tiers, set bonuses, we have a full blog article that went live last week. Go ahead, visit that, check it out. So when we're looking at this this activity, this is going to be a free roam mission, right?
Yes.
And these take place in places that are regions on the destination.
Yes.
Can you walk us through that?
Yeah, so I talked about it a little bit before, but this is the Gorge, and so the Vex have actually put a big security lockdown.
Matter Strike. Oh, so you have to use Matter Strike to get rid of that one.
The fire team right now is basically like breaking through this security lockdown, and so each of these regions feature multiple of these major encounters. Is kind of what we call them, these free roam encounters, and these are kind of like the scale. Ooh, just got try to get through that security grid, and he did not make it. Yeah. Each of these major encounters we have are kind of like the size of like roughly like a lost sector, but ultimately they're more complex. They have more mechanics that you have to use the destination abilities to solve some simple puzzles and encounters inside of them. And generally they have like pretty thick combat, especially on like the Fabled difficulty as well, where we start adding more enemies, tougher enemies, and also there are Banes that are applied in the World Tiers 2 that are actually exclusive to Kepler. They were built specifically for this content.
That's awesome. Yeah, and then as you're going through these sorts of free roam activities and exploring Kepler, what other like side objectives or objectives can pop up?
Yeah, so the way we kind of are thinking about this, right, like a lot of this outside of doing the seal, the triumphs, and things like that, and mysteries and secrets, which we can talk about here in a minute, a little bit more, is like it's about gear pursuit, right? It's about like earning that higher tier gear, chasing power, and so the way we constructed these regions, there's these free roam major encounters, there's tougher enemies that appear, there's HVTs that pop up, there's destination materials to loot, and there's this material called a faded cipher as well, and so you're going to be combining destination materials that you get from basically doing almost anything inside of the region alongside faded ciphers in order to be able to purchase specific items at the destination vendor called the Altar of Relativity at the center.
That's a lot of
Kepler.
Names and words.
Lots of
and
proper
yeah,
nouns.
If you didn't catch this, I know there are going to be breakdowns. We'll have a
Destination of Relativity?
Yeah, continue.
Yeah, and so like what's cool about this is that in the post game, like there's a focus that we created, and so basically through the vendor you can go and look at it and be like, okay, today's focus is the Gorge, which the fire team is looking at today. Most of the materials that you're earning here can be used to purchase gear, or you can convert your other materials you might have from other regions in order to convert it into the Gorge materials to buy stuff. But every day it's going to shift. That daily focus is going to shift. And so a little bit later in the stream, we're going to be seeing a part of Exile's Accord, which we've also some of our content creators and influencers showed as well, and some of their content parts of it. But basically, of the 4 major regions, the daily focus will shift day over day to basically kind of change what you're focused on, what gets you access to that direct purchase loot.
Yeah, and since we're on the topic of rewards, you were talking about like the currencies and the vendor.
Yeah.
You had mentioned before the stream, actually, there's a new form of attunement for the destination as well.
Yeah, so something that was really important to us was like,
Kepler got
it's-
attunement,
you wanna
bro?
make playing what we call like the action game, like actually experiencing free roam like this and the mission content. Like when you earn that piece of loot on Kepler as you're completing these activities.
This
and
itis hit me.
just got nuked.
No,
I'm
I'm
so
so
happy
happy
with
that
the
they're
Chinese
trying, 'cause they're
food.
like, this won't be too hard, and it's like, oh, world tiers. Let's introduce them at a higher difficulty, shall we?
Yeah.
But sorry, go.
No,
on.
I mean, I hope this is actually hard, bro, and this is not like
think about what they do and
dev's not that good at the game challenging.
pathway to get around this.
Well, yeah, the Destiny people actually be playing that game
But
sometimes.
anyway,
So.
we were talking specifically. I'm sorry, remind me.
Attunement.
Attunement. Thank you. Yeah. So basically, you're going to be able to attune at the vendor a specific piece of gear, armor, or weapon, and any drop on Kepler that drops a piece of armor or weapon will have a chance to be that gear. We just wanted to make sure that as you're playing through the destination, as like you're carving your own path, you're figuring out your own farm routes inside of each of these 4 regions each day of the week. We wanted to make sure that, like, hey, if you're looking for the Giver, that auto rifle that's coming with the Edge of Fate here on Kepler, it's like you have a chance to get it anytime a piece of loot drops.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you had mentioned just a minute ago about secrets and the depth
Any
of
weapon.
the destination. I mean, I'd love to hear. Yeah, go ahead and expand on that.
Yeah, so like it's funny with like secrets and mysteries, like you want to like talk about them a little bit, but like not too much
No
to
spoilers, right?
like spoil it.
Yeah.
But I think like the thing to scratch at here and poke at here is right is like we've talked about the destination abilities a few times.
A few
and so
times, good
with
joke.
The world tiers and the fabled and mythic difficulties throughout the destination, there are secrets and mysteries, like basically all these little alcoves, these little locations, these side paths, these hidden rooms, all throughout the destination that you can go and discover. And there's a lot available just within the campaign experience. Like if you want to play through the campaign and take it like really slow, and as you earn abilities and look around, you're going to find a lot of mysteries to solve. But we also wanted to make sure that in those higher world tiers in Fabled and Mythic, that it felt like this expanding expansion of that content that you have. And it's basically like, hey, you have even more abilities than ever. You can now peel back the onion of this world to discover what's at the core of it. And so we really wanted to make sure that it felt like there was just more and more to dive into the more you unlocked inside of the post game.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So in our rehearsal,
He hit the shadow skate.
We never managed to get this perfect timing, but we have perfect timing. I would love to shift to campaign. We're going to be taking you about midway through a campaign mission here. A quick note for the audience: if you're
wondering,
we have disabled our VO. We have disabled our subtitles. We're trying to keep this so you are discovering the story as it comes out with the Edge of Fate and our new saga.
The dude was posting on Twitter saying, "Well, I had the shadow skate on stream. He hit
I'd love
it."
to ask you just a couple more questions about free roam in the regions.
Yes.
What other things can happen in regions outside of campaign?
Yeah, so one of the big things that happens inside of these regions are side quests, which we've only talked a little bit about, and these are basically ways that flesh out more of the characters of the world, more of the stories of the people and of the place, and what's happening on Kepler and what's been happening with them before and what might be happening to them in the future. And basically what happens is as you're completing these regions as part of the campaign and you kind of start to unlock more of them, these side quests will start to become available. And so these side quests are available to you at any time. So again, like I was kind of mentioning earlier, like you can either take it really, really slow and take a really long time to get through everything the release has to offer, or you can just like beeline the main quest, beeline the critical path, and then when you get into the higher level world tiers, all of these side quests are now available to you. As we've been like play testing and closing out the Edge of Fate here, it's been really interesting to watch different developers and people play test the content. Myself and Blake Battle, one of our executive producers, he and I we're just like beelining it, right?
Yeah.
And then we get to the end and we like pop up in that and we're like, look at all these quests to do, while other people like want to take their time and like experience like the full story of every single little piece.
So
the
we're
destination
actually
itself.
we're getting into the campaign right now. And speaking of beelining, we've seen a ton of questions about getting raid race ready. So the raid race is going to be coming out on the Saturday after launch. I believe it's the 19th of July.
Yeah.
What difficulty should players play at to get ready for race?
Yeah, so if you want to be power ready for the contest,
I'm assuming legendary, right? Play legend like we always
you
do.
want to play the legendary campaign.
Yeah, of course.
And so when you step out of the legendary campaign, you will be power ready at that point. Now, if you're gear ready, that's up to you, right? It's like how far you want to go down that rabbit hole.
And that dovetails into
So
like
clearing
replayability
legendary
of
will
story
put
missions
you
and
at
campaign missions and how
at
it fits
a
in
level
world
cap
tiers.
for
Yes,
contest.
getting that higher tier loot.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
As
when
usual.
something that was like really important to us when we were thinking about replayability and what like aspiration means within an expansion We really wanted
I
to
still don't know how I
change
feel about the
some of
Scout. I just feel like it's
we wanted
gonna be
to take
mid.
some of the formula that we think works well, but also change other pieces of it. And one of the really big goals for us was just giving you more reasons and just easier ways to play. Some of the best content we built. This campaign mission is at the end of the Exiles Accord region. This fire team is taking down a giant Exiles prime servitor who's running some of the Archon's dark matter operations.
You said it, some spoilers.
Life is probably just jotting this down, getting ready for a lore dump about the Fallen, all that kind of stuff.
But this is a really fun multi-phase.
I know the Scout. I think the Scout is the seasonal weapon. I was hoping it was the hand cannon, because I want to use that hand cannon day one, but I don't think I'm gonna be able to.
And so things we've kind of done before that we're going back to that we think work well. There's going to be multiple weekly missions that you can play that are.
Okay, we're getting weekly missions back? Well, we already had it already.
A mission for each of our regions. We also have some bookends at the beginning and end of the release that the overall length of them and complexity, they are very similar to legendary campaign experiences from the past. So something new that we did, though, for this release, though, is we also have a bunch of additional story missions that take place during the campaign and you're first introduced to. These are shorter experiences, but they still have huge impact on the story, moving the story of the main quest into Kepler 4, and also help you to unlock different abilities and things throughout it. And so in the post-game, in the higher level, in the world tiers, we actually have a story mission playlist where you can go in and it's like a rotator, and you're rotating through a bunch of different randomly selected story missions that are about 10 to 15 minutes. Some people can, if you're going really fast, can get them down a little bit shorter. And those missions are actually one of the best sources of those faded ciphers that I was talking about earlier. And so the other thing I mentioned earlier too is we have specific quests for both Fabled and Mythic, and these quests are going to take you through some of the big campaign missions, again, to experience them with new modifiers, because we're curating modifiers and banes and things like that every single week on the destination, to have a little bit more of a curated experience. But then also those quests introduce some new encounters as well. And so, sorry, I'm going a little bit all over the place. I mean, some of this is just so much information.
I'm trying to catch all this as I can. Well, I'm already at more notes than the last stream.
We wanted to give you really strong incentives to go in and play the free roam experience, to extract materials, to play our story mission playlist. It's called the Time Latch mission playlist, to earn faded ciphers, but then also to have reasons to go in and replay some of our biggest campaign missions again through the weekly missions playlist, kind of like the heroic stuff we've had in the past.
And on the stream last week, we talked about how as you're unlocking the destination abilities, you carry those forward after the post game, so you can go in and replay and then have some of these things available, right?
Yeah, that's a really good note, and thank you for hitting on that. The way we designed this content was the campaign slowly stepped you into these different abilities and unlocking different versions of them and higher tier versions of them. When you're in the post-game experience, we intentionally designed puzzles and encounter mechanics and things, and even in this boss encounter, there's multiple times that they've had to use Matter Spark to get into the vents and stuff below this area and pop up through the world. And through the campaign, you would actually have to go and find a Matter Spark pad to activate that. And that's actually kind of part of the puzzle. It's teaching you to kind of look at the world and think about the world in a different way that is intentional.
I'll tell you one thing, this map do look different. It don't look like nothing else we've ever seen before, which is good.
And it's basically like your souped up sparrow for the destination, and being able to summon Matter Spark anywhere means you can actually sequence break some of our puzzles and sequence break part of our missions, and that was entirely intentional as a part of the design. And to be honest, Dylan, the fun part about this too is we're not 100% sure in some ways where people might sequence breaks things that we might not expect, but that was intentional from the design perspective, that we want people to be able to do that.
It's the magic of the sandbox in Destiny of we don't know how players are going to take this ability with this destination ability with this combatant, et cetera, et cetera. So I think I would love to ask you as well. So we've
getting a little tired.
Questions from players where they're like, oh, you had mentioned this is comparable to a Rise of Iron. How does that actually break down when we look at the Edge of Fate and Kepler? You had mentioned depth and secrets and a bunch of different things. So.
Yeah, so I think you and I were talking about this in rehearsal a little bit, where that comparison is just to give us a ballpark of where we want to be. But at the end of the day, it's apples and oranges between what the Edge of Fate is and what Rise of Iron is. So when we've talked about that, we've generally been speaking towards the size of this destination and the depth of the campaign and post-game experience. Like, this is one of the deepest destinations we've ever built before, and that is why we've been making that comparison to Rise of Iron in that way. But also in terms of being like,
I didn't play Rise of Iron.
Also, the game is very different today, right? We have an entire portal, we have an entire offering that is there with a bunch of new content, new gear, new things to do. We have the raid with the Edge of Fate, obviously, but then we have the epic raid coming in the major update with Ash and Iron, which we'll talk about more in the future. That just
the epic raid
expands the raid and expands on the story of the raid. It is new content.
Yeah.
We're not holding anything back for the base raid to build that experience. And so, again, the Rise of Iron to Edge of Fate, little bit apples and oranges, but we also are thinking about like the collective packages of what comes with this release, because the game is very different from what it was like back.
So we have the free roam missions, we have campaign, we have secrets, we have a lot of questing, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I'd love, before we wrap up with our campaign mission, to talk a bit about what else players can expect in terms of destination activity.
Yeah, so we've seen y'all talking about it. Like, we hear y'all, and this is one of those things where, like, we wanted to hold this back for it to be like a surprise and delight moment for everyone when it appeared on the destination in the post game. But yeah, let's just talk about it a little bit. So there is a destination activity on Kepler.
Oh, thank God.
It is, I'm not going to name it here. I just want y'all to see it when the game goes live. And it also, and part of that is because, like, it does relate to some of the story inside of the campaign, especially near the end. And so we wanted to be careful to not unintentionally spoil something if we showed too much of that activity. But anyway, the way to think about it is, like, it's kind of its own thing. It's kind of unique, but it's kind of a blend of activities like Vex Incursion and Wellspring.
Ooh.
So this is a match-made activity with 3 players. You're going to be using some of your destination abilities and some really chaotic horde mode inspired elements, but there's also some mechanical elements, and there's some boss encounters. But it's going to be one of the best places actually to earn rerolls of the exotic armor that's coming in the Edge of Fate that you get from the Legendary campaign, and it's just highly rewarding in general. And so, because we wanted to make this activity really rewarding, it is also technically time limited, but
oh God!
Near the center of the map, there's going to be basically a preview that tells you, like, hey, when does the activity become available? So you're going to know.
Okay.
Exactly when to jump into the destination activity in order to, like, focus farm those things that you care about the most.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for your time. We've already wrapped up our campaign mission, and now we're actually going to be moving over to Portal, Power Progression. So, Robbie, thank you. Chat, thank Robbie for joining us today. And now we're going to swap some folks in. We'll see you next time.
See you later, guys. Thanks so much.
All right. So as we are swapping out, I want to talk about these 2 new exotic weapons that we see on the screen. You saw some of this in our gameplay preview that we just had. We also had some creators, influencers, that kind of stuff coming in and speaking to the hand cannon and the scout rifle. Hand cannon is going to be through an exotic quest on Kepler.
No!
No spoilers there. But the team was talking about, oh, hey, here is our overall goal for the weapon. It's for those who are looking for the perfect 3-tap. As for the Void Scout Rifle, that's going to be a part of our new rewards pass. This is just, I'm not going to spoil that either. There are some reviews from our sandbox-minded creators.
It was trash.
It's a fun time. So, all right, let's move on to Portal, Power, and Progression. And I just looked at our 3 new guests.
They said, I heard the freaking reporters saying it was amazingly and OP busted, and everyone else that played with it said it was me.
Great, Dylan. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. For those who didn't see you on our reveal stream or previous Vidocs, can you give a quick overview? Who are you, what you do?
Yeah, I am Ben Womack. I am the core game creative director. I am the one, like, helping all the teams that are making the core experience and all the components in the portal and in Edge of Fate as well, like, worked well together and, like, pushed the game forward into, like, this great new foundation. I'm really excited to talk about it.
Awesome. Yeah, thanks for joining us today.
Yeah.
Next on the couch, brand new to our chair. You've never been on anything, so first time you are meeting the community. Everyone in chat, say hello. Nutty, welcome.
Hi, Nutty.
I'm Nutty.
He looks like Sean White.
One of our sandbox ability designers. That pretty much means that I work with Vivian and Eric, who were here last week, to develop anything that the player is doing outside of armor, weapons, and combatants. So today I'm going to talk about all the modifiers and additional banes.
Let me check if I got my Twitch drop, chat. Hold on.
Last but not least,
Make sure y'all got y'all Twitch drop.
How you doing?
I got it. Okay.
How you doing, Dylan?
Oh, You
Is this
asked
the
me how
sound?
much.
No, it's not.
Thank you so much.
I thought it was the
really
sound
quick
guy who makes like
for everybody out there watching,
I
what
just
do you
peeked
do?
all over the mic, bro. I'm
I'm
sorry.
a principal designer, and for the last year, I've been leading the team that's been taking all the cool Banes and modifiers Nutty's team is working on and combining them in a UI with all the activities from the activities team, both new and returning activities, making sure that you get good score while you're playing those activities, and then that score turns into loot with cool seasonal power and gear tiers and all the great stuff that you're looking for.
Stellar. So we have some content on screen. This is what players are going to see when they sign in on day one, and this is our introduction to the portal. Ben, I would love to get just a quick overview for those who may have missed that reveal stream. Like, what is this space? What are we?
Missed the reveal stream,
so
the content creator videos, the TWAB original first TWAB.
For Destiny 2. And so we really want to make as much as we could available, like just in a couple clicks, and not having to dig down to find the content that is new or featured, or like you're being your friends are playing, or something like convenient that you really want to like go to a lot. Like we have a button for the tower that's right there, fastest you can get into. We also have Edge of Fate in the upper corner, of course, which is like the new expansion for the launch right here. We have this huge like quick launch panel in the lower right that is rotating between new activities, like probably the fastest you can play Destiny ever, aside from right when you like start for a very first like new character. It's gonna let you just like hit and play something right away with like no delay. And then we have actually a very like nested depth there with all the ops categories on the left, which are all the different kinds of things you can play in the portal that are hooking to all the new systems that that Alan and Nutty have been talking about.
Awesome. Yeah, really quick, I'd love to go just line by line for Solo, Fireteam, Pinnacle, and Crucible Ops. Give them an introduction.
Yeah. So Solo Ops is like a new thing that we're doing in the Edge of Fate launch and for the core game. These have activities that are designed to be played by solo players. They're only one-person fire teams, and they're intended to be content that if you just like have a few minutes, like 10, 15 minutes to play Destiny, and you want to go on and like feel satisfied about your time, get some great loot, you're going to go to Solo Ops and like have that opportunity. It's going to be like a really great, concise like experience. We're also like if you don't want to have like the think about having a fire team for some content as well, you can be assured that this stuff is designed to be played
The salt mines.
And so it's like it's kind of challenges going
I heard
to
the salt mines is
and
annoying.
modifiers and such you can customize and really great loot to get. But it's a challenge for you, individual, and I think that's really exciting. Like alternative to some stuff in the past, it felt like I want to play but I don't have any friends, or I'm trying to find someone I have a lot of time, and we have another like niche for people to fill if they're in the mood.
Yeah, awesome. And then next up we have Fireteam Ops.
Yes, Fireteam Ops. So, like, just talking about fire teams, like, quintessential Destiny is playing with two other players, a fire team of 3, right? And so we have all of the activities in Fireteam Ops are a 3-player fire team. We have, like, classic strikes in there. We have, like, missions from past expansions, like in Europa, like the Empire hunts. We also have, like, onslaughts are in here. We actually scroll down more. There it is, the coil. So past seasonal activities coming back, and, like, integrating with all the systems we've been talking about that we're going to talk more about, so that they're like available for you to get new loot in, to work on your power climb, to basically just like have a great time in whichever way you want to.
Awesome. Yeah, I mean, since we're already in the screen, let's go ahead and get our fire team set up with our activity. What are we playing today, Nutty?
We were going to do the Dark Priestess Empire hunt.
Awesome. So
Oh,
here,
God.
I'm actually going to pass the mic over to you and Alan. Let's get some bans, some modifiers, all that kind of stuff set up. Really quick, can you introduce each of these sections for the different modifiers, and then we'll go and kind of pick and choose what we want?
For sure. So we're starting at a master activity, and this is 300 combatants.
300?
First,
Bro, we can only get 200.
That's
It's 500, bro.
These are our challenge modifiers.
Ooh.
These are things that will increase the combatant power and add some additional difficulty to it. The first one is our Banes. So here you decide what Banes are going to show up, and we paired all of them as like 2 combos that either work well together or at least interesting. Today we'll do Threaded and Caltrops. So Threaded is where, as you damage the combatant, it will spawn Threadlings, and when it dies, it will throw out a few more Threadlings at the same time. And Caltrops is a void area that gets spawned near you, like between you and the combatant, and then when it dies, it throws out another one. So something to make it so you either need to get up in the air or keep going through.
So starting with retaliation.
Yeah.
If I die, you're coming with me, pretty much. All right, next up, what do we got?
Yeah, let's do subtle foes. So this just makes it so that when some of the enemies are far away from you, they will be invisible, and that helps them get into close range, or if you are using a long-range loadout, you won't be able to deal with them as much, so you might want to bring some close range.
And they're like very invisible. Not like,
yeah, not like a little bit of player stealth, but just like you don't see them.
Yeah, you really have to like pay attention to see them.
Oh my goodness, that's gonna be annoying.
Yeah, let's do Glass Cannon. So Glass Cannon is kind of a fire team equalizing one where it only punishes the person who's doing the best. So if you have that buddy that, you know, clears the strike ahead of you or is getting all of the kills, well, we're actually going to give him a debuff where he will just take more incoming damage. And if you are a little bit closer with your friends, then that's actually a catch-up opportunity where maybe you take over the kill lead and now you're the one suffering a little bit and kind of a fun.
So if I'm
That's gonna be annoying.
I'm stealing all of your kills. I'm putting a bit of a debuff on myself.
Right.
Taking one for the team.
Yeah, true.
And maybe I'm letting you finish a few of those.
Yep. All right.
What else? Let's do one more. Chill Touch. Yeah, so we were talking about getting the enemies into melee, so this will make it if they hit you in melee, you will suffer a stasis debuff and slow down.
Awesome.
And that pushes the power all the way up to 360. And those things are also increasing the potential score that you can receive from this, and the score is what drives the reward.
Right. So you see right here when we picked when we picked Chill Touch, the gear tier you're going to earn went from tier 2 to tier 3 for this activity. So it's really important to pay attention to what you're earning.
Yeah. So you know what you're going to be getting if you achieve that score at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah, and this is like, we've talked about this last week on stream about approachability and making it easier for players to understand as they're getting in. So a lot of UI treatment, shout out to our teams that have been doing this to show you combatant power and all that kind of stuff. So
yeah, tons of love and passion went into that.
Seriously.
Yeah, so let's look at player stakes. Oh, do you want to take this?
Oh yeah. So player stakes are the next category down, and they're more about the player's interface with the game itself. So things like locked loadout. We have no HUD is an ability that we added here. So you play with no HUD for a little extra score bonus. And these are things that are really sort of letting you sort of tie one arm behind your back while you're playing. It's not making the combatants more powerful. It's changing how you're playing the game. You can start with no ammo. You can start with locked loadout. We'll be putting some more player stakes in Ash and Iron. Yeah.
I love no HUD. You're going to talk about it first, aren't you?
No HUD seems a lot easier.
Okay, no HUD. You go first.
I just wanted to have us move on to the next bit because we've talked about tying one hand behind your back.
Talk about no HUD later. Go ahead.
Okay, but in the next bit, this is what you get to do with your other hand. So here are the things that benefit you. Let's try Livewire. This one is one of my favorite. It's a combination of the sprint for amplified that you had in the Nether, along with inherent AC/DC feedback fence. So we buffed up the enemy's melee capability that hopefully they'll get up and punch you. Well, now if they do, we're just going to shock them with lightning. So I'm kind of balancing out that additional challenge that we added and a different benefit that will kind of counter that and make it so it's actually a little bit easier for me.
Yeah.
What else can we do? Healing finishers are great. Just another way to get back health, or if you go in for that finisher and take damage on the way, that you'll be able to fill back up. And let's do one more. And sure, hypercritical is pretty fun. This one is actually a little bit tough because it makes it so that the enemies will take less non-precision damage, but more precision damage. So as long as you're hitting your shots, it's easier.
Awesome. And then Ben, we actually we noticed this a bit earlier. There's one more modifier up at the top, and that's actually limited time, right?
Yeah. So this is a accelerator that this is a double bonus focus. So you're gonna second drop from the bonus focus activities. So this is we will have given the calendar different accelerators that are on for a given week or day that will apply to the whole portal and have different benefits. And we're also going to have more of those for events and other things going on in the game to give you kind of another fresh twist or incentive to see what's going on in the game and get some a good time. Realize now is a good time to play because we're trying to make every day a good time to play Destiny.
Yeah, I think one of the modifiers we saw during our rehearsal was a bonus to Suros weapons too.
Yeah.
So it's a bit of there can be loot bonuses, there can be gameplay bonuses of more power behind certain weapon archetypes. It's pretty fun. So stay tuned to our calendars. We'll definitely sound off when it's a week of a cool theme. Let's get it launched in and actually start taking on some of this combat.
Can I talk about no HUD now?
Oh yeah, please.
Okay, so they aren't going to show no HUD because it'd be confusing, I think, on the stream. But no HUD is a great example of something you can engage with if you want to, because it's a challenge. It gives your score more opportunity to get better loot, but it takes away information going to the HUD. But what it also does is it makes it feel very cinematic and interesting, and like you kind of like feel more in tune with the character and the gunplay. And that's like a good analogy for what we're intending all the modifiers you're selecting to do. That it's like going to let you set up a situation like that he was talking about, like, oh, enemies have chill touch, but I'm going to like have live wire to counter it and create these cool little gameplay moments that are really like something that you choose for how you want to play for like really awesome loot.
Yeah, and Alan, when we were talking through some of these modifiers, like we've taken an inspiration from a ton of different places.
Yep.
Like No HUD in particular, shout out to Sammy Cat.
Yep.
Called her out last week for all the bows we were showing off, but also no HUD.
And we're hoping to get a bows only loadout modifier coming in the future too.
No,
we really do want to look at how people are playing the game, whether they're creators playing on stream or people playing at home, and really try to let them set up the challenge for themselves. How they want to do
only
it.
modifier,
The challenge modifier,
No,
stakes, or
Lord.
the boons.
Yeah. How often are we going to be adding more modifiers to the portal?
Well, we're going to have some new modifiers coming with events. And we're going to be adding new modifiers with the mid-season update with Ash and Iron.
Yeah, that major update. Yeah.
Yeah, I've been working on them pretty constantly along with the rest of the team. So it was like every few days that another either Bane would come online or modifier, and we'd have to go playtest that, which was a pretty big playtesting lift to try all these combinations and make sure that there aren't any rough edges when you combine some things that maybe we hadn't thought about when we were initially designing them.
Yeah, I'm sure there's stuff that players will find that we won't. We're accepting that.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean, we have our challenge for Esoteric or Mork or a couple of the other high skill creators of what can you throw on to make this difficult, and can you actually complete it?
Right.
So it'll be fun watching those playthroughs. Ben, paired with that, how often are we going to have more activities?
Esso's gonna
to the
put on
portal?
all banes, all modifiers,
Like, regularly
no boons,
refresh
solo.
people on like so that, you know, there's stuff coming online like on like somewhat weekly cadence. Like we're gonna have kind of a weekly like new stuff coming online for the first few weeks, and then when events come in, they're gonna have big changes like lots of new modifiers or like portal wide like effects. Some are going to come with activities as well, but we're also going to be every major update. We're going to have new activities that come in, and we're also going to have like shakeups of existing ops formats. And we're going to have a really cool new activity that's paired with an event at Ash and launch. I'm not going to talk about it right now, but I think is really fun. That's going to be an exemplar of like, hey, we're shaking things up. Here's a brand new thing, in addition to all of like the classics and Destiny like Vault that we're bringing out.
Not just new activity, a new activity type that you've never played before.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, so this is all talking about like what you're going to be playing in the portal, and we're going to be moving on to power and progression. So what you're earning, which is people love loot. Nutty, thank you so much for joining us. I'd love to give you just anything else you want to say before you leave.
I definitely want to shout out the rest of the Sandbox team, not just those of us that were working on additional modifiers and bans, but like that playtesting lift, we had everybody across Sandbox disciplines in all of those playtests to try and hit as much of this as possible. And I wanted to re-emphasize how impactful some of the modifiers can be. Specifically, I'm thinking back to what we were just playing in live with attrition modifier in Prophecy Week 1, because when we moved to Prophecy Week 2, my fire team had gotten so accustomed to killing enemies and having a little health pickup on the ground that we had to play that final fight completely differently and use cover way more because we couldn't just kill some enemies and run through them to fill back up. Normally, I would think of attrition as a lot more of a challenging modifier, but it turned out that when we were toggling things off and on, it turned out to be more beneficial to us than we were anticipating.
I am still on the side of like attrition is challenging to me, and when it goes away, I'm like, oh, hey, fire team, let's let's go for it.
And if that makes it too hard for you to get your rewards, then just you toggle it off here.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's more about like what you're comfortable playing with, and also what your style is for, and your build, and what your mood is too. Like we're giving a lot of player agency to that.
Yep.
Right, and speaking of player agency, so I would love to see your feedback, like what ones are you engaging with, what ones are you enjoying more, what ones feel like they are actually rewarding to do, and what ones feel like we could punch them up a little bit, because that's what we'll probably keep working on.
All right, well, thank you for joining us. Chat, everybody scream, thank you, Nutty. We're going to swap you off and get our power and progression individual in. So
Okay, thanks.
Thank you so much. While we're doing this transition, Ben, I would love to ask you, what activities could players find in Pinnacle Ops?
Oh yeah. So Pinnacle Ops has at Edge of Fate launch, it is going to be filled with exotic missions. And some exotic missions from the past year and previously as well that are going to be integrated into the whole Portal experience and all the systems we're talking about, all the difficulties, all the modifiers, and intended to be, you know, like not only something that is, well, exotic missions, they're kind of hard, right? They have mechanics, they're long, and so we're matching that by being like, okay, well, you can get the exotic if you don't have it, first of all, just from playing on the Portal. It's available all the time. It's not like going through rotation like every week or something. And you can do Fireteam Finder, of course, to find people to play with. But we're really excited that it's like, oh, I can like play this as hard as I want or as easy as I want, whatever whatever I'm feeling like right now. And we're gonna have more to Pinnacle Ops in the future with Ash and Iron that we're not gonna talk about today. So it's actually a good example of like, hey, we're making this new section of the game that we're gonna just keep on building in and tinkering with over time.
Awesome. I sense a segue. We were talking about Pinnacle Ops
into the next
Pinnacle
category.
Power. Hello, Josh. Yeah. Welcome to the couch.
Hello. Hi, I'm Josh Galinsky. I'm a staff systems designer here at Bungie. Been here for about 5 years. And I really work with a lot of our loot, our gear, your power and progression, as you mentioned, like, you know, what are your rewards? What's the candy you get at the end of your activities and stuff like that? So we spent a lot of time reworking a lot of our stuff in the Edge of Fate, and really 900 is what the internal thing is. We made big changes to how you engage with power in Destiny. One thing you'll all notice is, I think many of our creators have already noticed in the past, that there has been a power squish. We've reset players down to 10. Like,
hey, what's up, Dre? How you doing, bro?
To give everyone kind of a fair and equitable starting place, and to kind of like reset the engagement with power. Also, 2020 power is not exactly the most friendly starting point.
Not easy to understand if you haven't been along for the ride.
Right,
yeah.
Exactly. So, like, this is the beginning of a new saga. It's the beginning of a new thing here. So we're starting off there.
That hammer's only doing 220 damage.
With each other. And allows us to kind of...
This eye is hitting me, bro.
You're going to have 200 points of power in the soft cap band.
Intrinsic cap, yeah.
Yes, exactly. And you're going to be able to go and do any activity you want across the game in order to get to that point. Once you get past that, then you enter the seasonal bonus power band, which is where you're going to have to start doing more of the Portal activities and the Kepler, like world tiers and stuff, in order to get.
How's it going, man? How's the stream so far? It's not bad. Not bad. They're still showing some stuff that we know already.
We're going to start at 10 when we launch.
They announced the destination activity because people were scared that this game, that Kepler has no. I don't know if you've been on Destiny Twitter, but Kepler has no lost sectors and stuff. People are like, I ain't got nothing to do on Kepler besides the campaign. So they weren't gonna tell us, but apparently there's destination activity that's similar to Vex incursions. They mentioned like it's like kind of like horde mode with mixed with Vex incursions in Wellspring, but because it's mixed with Vex incursions, it won't always be there. But you'll know when it's there.
Like we did simplify power a little bit further by taking power.
That's really about it though.
And that allowed us to take the power.
They talked about how we're going to talk about some end game activities, what we're going to be doing after the campaign is over.
Makes it so you're only worrying about your gear.
You could attune to the weapons on Kepler.
So it just takes one.
Weekly missions are coming, extra story missions are coming.
Yeah, and speaking of just like that power climb, like our Pinnacle sources have been updated to actually.
They talked about the modifiers and the Bane's coming, and that's about it so far.
I think if you're a longtime Destiny player, you're very used to the Pinnacle grind, and you're also used to the.
We're getting to the end here though.
Grind puts on you, and like some of the
like 20 more minutes.
Like intricacies that come with that. Like there's been many seasons in the past where I really needed that drop of the boots to come from the thing, and I do my Pinnacles. I didn't get my boots. Well, not only are you able to more target farm individual gear pieces now, but also the limit of the Pinnacles is no longer a thing.
Thank God.
We're gonna have some challenges in the game that
better than the last one. Yeah. I'm still a bit upset that the freaking. I really wish they'd swap it around to where the hand cannon is the seasonal exotic. And the scout rifle is the crafter one, because I do not care about that scout, but I really want to use this hand cannon.
In the Portal is a source of Pinnacle drops, exactly, as much as you want.
Yeah, so you can hit max level. You know, the day one raid squads are hitting max light the day it comes out. They did say one thing that they tried to scoot on over about is freaking. They said the new raid launches the 18th. and then the epic version will launch this in September, and then they just go right past it.
Matchmaking.
They just say those and then go right past it. So I'm like, are we getting raid layers again? Are they gonna bring back a raid layer, like do a layer for it, but call it the epic version? That one's big. That one sounded cool, but they literally talked about that and scooted right past it.
And those are set.
Yeah, we'll talk about that in a minute.
Yeah.
We'll be having a good lunch break though.
We've seen a ton of feedback over the years about players want to play Strike solo, and now.
Oh yeah. That's a great point. Yeah. So we kind of going along with the idea of being player driven. If you don't want to play a strike like a Grandmaster Nightfall-esque strike, or even like early like difficulties with other players, you don't have to. You can just play it by yourself. You can take as long as you want within the confines of like the modifiers you've chosen to complete the activity and get the loot you have. So that falls into like that. What is your mood? Like, what is it you're feeling like playing right now? And like of these options, like what's appealing to you?
Awesome. Yeah, I think back to you, Josh. Really,
I was hoping we would get some news on some upgraded exotic class items. I don't think we're getting. I don't think any classes are getting any updates.
Can you give a
This
high level
expansion.
for folks that didn't catch the blog? What's changed?
Yeah, at the highest level, upgrade modules are no longer a part of that infusion thing. They're still going to continue to exist in the game. They can still drop from legacy.
Then what are they
companies.
used for?
For I think it's an enhancement core in like 1500 Glimmer, and so like those are still there. We're going to have a new unstable core currency that's going to exist, and you're going to use that in addition to enhancement cores in order to infuse your gear up for the season.
Okay, and a bit of Glimmer too, right?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
And really at its core,
One manager gave me the next few days. Also, definitely about the glass videos. That'd be what happened. The customer was going crazy.
Does reset at the end of this thing, and players will be reset back to 200 when Renegades comes out.
Got it.
So
Cool. Yeah, I think just last note on the power climb. So during our reveal event, you spoke about Crucible and how you can actually power up in Crucible to kind of keep pace with your friends. Like, can you expand on that a bit?
Yeah. So there's a time in Destiny's past when you could just play Crucible a lot, and you get power, you get great gear. You can
That was back in D1.
with your friends to play a raid or the challenging content.
Customers, they making me train all the new staff.
Over the years, like it's harder to.
You gonna pay me that training money?
Really feel like
I need a raise.
So with Edge of Fate launch in the core game.
Ooh, what's that?
Crucible ops that we have, which
Ooh, tier 3 weapon.
You're going to be able to like start from that power 10 and just play Crucible, and you'll get power drops. You'll go up and you'll eventually get higher tier. Be able to get like really great sets of gear.
Okay, they already said this.
As good as like anything else.
That's cool too.
In the game, and you can just play Crucible all the way to the power cap if you want to. We are going to ask you to perform as you go to get more consistent rewards, but it's totally possible.
Yeah, and Josh, you mentioned before too of like trials and competitive Crucible are going to be ways to accelerate. Right?
absolutely, if you're putting yourself in the pools with the like higher skill players and challenging yourself, that's how you're going to get your faster rewards. And not to mention the Trials armor sets and stuff, like they're really cool this time around.
Yeah, we have a unique armor set for Crucible. For Trials, we have weapons.
You see how Edge of Fate turns out to on like a few weeks left. Yeah, only 2 weeks, and I'm still trying to figure it out. I don't know if I'm gonna be here. I don't think I'm gonna be here for Edge of Fate launch. We'll see though.
Yeah, sure. If you notice the seasonal hub up there at the top of the portal screen, if you click into that, you come to the hub, which you're going to have a bunch of daily challenges and weekly challenges, and those are going to give you XP.
They talked about this. I already got a video on this.
Extra drops in on a portal activity, but it's going to give you progress towards the weekly reward track there. And the weekly reward track has lots of currencies and powerful drops on there, but it also has, if you tab to the next one, it's going to have some Vanguard Armory and Arsenal tokens, which give you bonus drops from Zavala from the list of weapons or armor you can get from these activities that are going to be higher tier, and they're going to be a higher power than you can get from even getting the best grade in there. So you'll want to be doing these, and these refresh every week and get 2 pieces of armor and 2 weapons every single week.
Yeah, and this track is free, correct?
Yeah,
this is all game.
It's all free. Everything in the portal is free. Awesome. So if you scroll down from here, you're going to run into the Conquest page. Now there's 2 on Expert, 2 on Master, and 2 on Grandmaster, and these are effectively your Grandmaster replacements in the portal. These are going to be fixed power, fixed modifiers, no fire team power.
Your loadout is incorrect for the current restriction. Oh no! Oh no! No! People are going to be mad.
One time, but these are are really
Your
about
loadout does not match the
journey
current
through the
stuff.
season. As you level up, you can take
Oh,
the first expert
God.
one, and then the next expert one, and then the master, and then master 2, and then finally the 2 grandmasters.
It said it in the bottom right that they couldn't launch the activity because their loadout doesn't meet the requirements.
Allow you to complete the Conqueror.
Oh, God.
Really quick, gameplay team, if you could go back to the modifiers that you were just talking over. This was a really good example of a quality of life.
Look, your loadout is incorrect for the current restriction.
Modifiers like I'm squinting at these icons, I don't really know what they mean, and now we have them bucketed based on the portal options, so you can more easily identify these.
Hit that stuff one. Hit it. No, he was right there.
The UI UX team for
what does it say?
Making a really much cleaner look.
What is it? Hover over it.
Having this cool bucket to look at them. Like, I think it's really good. Really good.
He was right there.
There was one more section on the seasonal hub. One more tab down.
Check it. No, bro.
Yep. So the Conqueror Seal is down here. You're going to be completing the conquests during the season to earn and gild your Conqueror Seal. And since this is still the Conqueror Seal, it's going to maintain its old gilding. So this is going to be continual.
Awesome. Yeah. 14 seasons of Conqueror. Now we're going to keep on going, baby.
Oh my God.
Awesome. So I'm going to say we still have a couple topics to cover. Fire team, let's go ahead, launch into an activity.
Maybe it's different. It definitely did say you couldn't do it because he didn't have the right loadout on.
The score is changing, how the rewards can scale, all that kind of stuff. Just have a fun time. For the folks on the couch, we already went through the seasonal hub, the rewards. We are also having a moment in time where Guardian ranks are resetting.
Yes.
Yeah, if I could get a quick overview. One of you, I believe, Alan.
Yeah,
Alan.
Yeah. So we took a look. So Guardian ranks when we launched them, the first few ranks were about learning the game, and then the upper ones were about your seasonal journey and dealing with all the different kinds of things a player might do in Destiny. So we've stripped a bunch of those away and rebuilt objectives to be focused completely on the portal. So it's going to be playing through the various activities, using modifiers, playing all the different conquests, gaining power, gaining all the different kinds of rewards. It's going to be really showing like where you're at in that seasonal journey but purely for the portal. It's not going to reflect any dungeons. You're not going to have to solo any dungeons. You're not going to have to get commendations.
No, bro. Why are you taking the difficulty out of Guardian rank? Y'all, we can't even require people to solo a dungeon no more. Come on, man.
Guardian rank 11 with Ashen Iron.
Yeah, in our original.
I mean, I guess so free players can reach it. But come on, man. Y'all took away flawless raids. Now we can't even get solo dungeons.
Portal that dovetails into that. Solo dungeons, they still have unique rewards.
Oh, yeah.
They're no longer required for 11 in Guardian rank.
Correct.
But you can
They should
still
be.
get ghosts, sparrows, emblems. That
We're not taking anything away from the dungeons. We're taking away things from the Guardian ranks and adding different kinds of things back in. And since we're doing that, the first 5 ranks will still be sort of an on-ramp into the game. So we're going to drop everybody back down to Guardian rank 2 with Edge of Fate and let them go from there. There will be lots of cool things to do and earn and play through in the first few ranks. And then starting with Ashen Iron and every season from then on, we'll reset you back to 6, just like we've been doing.
Awesome. Yeah, it's just another portion of.
Bro, this modifier looks sick.
Aspiration, where it's like,
The one that resets your grapple. Look how fast they're flying through this, bro.
Rank above my head. I've gone through the raid. I have this cool tier 5 weapon, etc., etc. So
they got 3 grapple grenades. Look how fast they're flying through this.
And I think at this point it's kind of the easiest to get into Destiny and just know what to play. So
yeah, I absolutely believe that. And
bro is playing Spider-Man. This is the closest Xbox player is gonna get playing Spider-Man.
Because a Guardian rank that tells you to accomplish this kind of power or complete this activity on this difficulty, how you did it will probably be pretty unique to you compared to other players because you chose different modifiers. There's different sets available for the given day or week, and maybe
look at them, bro. They zooming.
About like, oh yeah, you soloed the master difficulty, like one of the requirements in Guardian ranks. Maybe you soloed on one of the conquests, and that's your story.
It's get a little hot here,
but it's appropriate that there are a bunch of options for players to choose that match what their own experiences, what they want it to be.
Awesome. Well, thank you all so much for joining us today. That actually brings us to the end of our Power and Progression. I believe, Josh, you actually had a couple more things you wanted to say before we left, though.
Yeah, really, there's 2 things I want to say. One is that, you know, fire team power is definitely still a thing
that's
in this game. We really want to encourage you to play with your friends, and when you do play with your friends, if you're higher power level than them, that's another thing that can act as a nice accelerator for them and really, like, you know, increase the bonds of friendship. That's like a core part of the DNA of Destiny, is being able to play with fellow Guardians.
Yes. So as an example, if you're at a tier 4 and I'm only tier 2, I join you, we do a tier 4 activity. I still get tier 2 gear, but it's accelerating me faster into tier 3.
You're going to hit your score a lot easier, which is going to help you get those bonus rewards. And
yeah, got it. Cool. And then your second note?
And yeah, finally, like, we made a lot of changes to the game in the Edge of Fate. Like, we're definitely going to be listening to you, Guardians.
Yeah, there's the word. We're listening.
Data. We're going to be listening to a lot.
I missed anything crazy? The biggest thing that I'm surprised about, Ken Duto, is I said the drain and I'm gonna say it again.
So, bookkeeping topics.
They talked about the raid and there's like, yeah, we got the day 1 raid on the 18th. No, the 19th. We're excited for that. We got the epic raid in September. This, that, and a third, and then Scooter right past it. Didn't say anything else about it. And I'm like, epic raid in September. Are they bringing back raid layers? Because we're not getting another raid. But they just said epic raid and Scooter right past it and didn't say anything else about it.
So if there are things like the skimmer that is Iron Banner theme, kind of like the wolf theme, that's actually in there, and you have a chance to get that. There are some Crimson Doubles emotes and finishers and other cosmetics.
You got an Iron Banner skimmer?
And check that out. Additionally, we had mentioned Lootapalooza. So a couple weeks just before launch, we're going to start showering players.
It is a couple weeks before launch.
We have double Crucible loot, which also applies to Trials of Osiris. So if you're hunting for Adept...
Yes, sir! I need some Adept Inquisitors. Please be a good map!
And we also have, for the weekend, a lot of players have been asking what maps are going to be featured. You got Dissonance, you got, Cirrus Plaza.
Okay.
And you have the last one, which is Eventide Lab.
Eventide Lab. Okay, the 3 new ones.
We had a great conversation about what if we had some type maps on a rotation.
They didn't say, can't do so.
For the final week of the season, we're going to have Burnout, Endless Veil, and community favorite Javelin 4. So,
okay, I'll play Trials next week. I need some Inquisitors.
Played Trials, get in, get your 4th streak, get some Adepts.
I need some Inquisitors. I'm going to pull over my PKs and Shira's Wrath and call it a day.
And the final note, we are going to have all dungeons in the Rite of the Nine experience next week. Higher reward rates, higher currency rates, helping you get more of those drops, go into higher difficulties for your Adepts, and potentially even get the hollow foil versions with additional perks.
Yeah.
So, awesome. Thank you all so much for joining us. Thank you all on the couch for
yeah, you ain't really missing much.
Thank you, crew. Thank you, gameplay. Thank you, everybody behind the scenes. And players, everybody out there watching, thank you.
DMG did a job. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Until the Edge of Fate. 14 days until a new saga.
I didn't even buy my expansion yet. I'm gonna buy it next week.
We're putting our toe in for the next.
Like on the 11th, I'll cop.
Yeah. So, thank you so much. Much love. We're going to be doing a raid over to our good friend Malachi. So if you want to stick around, talk about the stream, Malachi, we're handing it off to you. Thank you, everybody.
All right. Hope y'all got y'all emblems. Let me go check if I got y'all. Weird. Alright, I'm gonna turn the AC on for a little bit, chat. I know y'all gonna hear it in the background. Let's talk about the stream now. How y'all feeling? I know y'all was like talking, not really watching it as much as can. I know Dren's at work and other stuff, but I kinda caught everything. Well, I caught as much as I could. So far, I definitely got more notes than I did before. So far, I know y'all can hear the AC. I apologize. It's just hot. We got Kepler over, so they talked about the world tiers. Mythic is going to be 150 light. No, Fables is at 150. Mythic is at 200. Mythic and Fable are unlocked after you beat the campaign. Apparently, Fable has cosmetic and Triumph-based challenges and rewards. Mythic World Tiers gives another variant of Kepler. So the Mythic tier gives another variant of the Kepler armor with a different set bonus and shader than the original version of the Kepler armor. Post-campaign options, puzzles, stuff like that, ciphers. So. I think that's it. The issue with me, boys, is this week is already hectic enough. we got, for me, boys, we got, good Lord, I've been here. I got tomorrow, boys, literally I gotta edit 2 videos. This is why I'm not gonna be streaming too long today, because I gotta come up with a short little bite-sized video for YouTube for this, and then I gotta edit that other video y'all saw me record on stream last time I streamed, and then tomorrow there's an article that we gotta read and edit to have that uploaded for Thursday. And then Friday, I'm not gonna be here. So literally, I'm not gonna be here Thursday. I'm not gonna be here Friday. So tomorrow is gonna be we're gonna cut the stream. I'm gonna edit the video. I'm gonna get the video out, cut it up, put it up, ready to go on Wednesday that day. Like literally, as soon as I'm done uploading and fixed it, I'm gonna try and have it up on the channel. And then I gotta go get my haircut. Good Lord, jeez, bro, I forgot I gotta go get my haircut. Yeah, you ain't really miss nothing. Bro, what? My hair just don't work. Wow, how much I brush this? I need to get a haircut. But yeah, so tomorrow is gonna be a long day. So that's why I'm probably not gonna stream for maybe an hour or 2 more. If I have time, I'll stream back on, because I do wanna get through Expedition, bro. Cause I haven't been playing off stream. As much as I've been saying I'm gonna play off stream, I have not played a single second off stream, basically. Since I said that. We're getting back on this. I'm beating this before I move. This game is getting beaten before I move. It will be beaten within the next 14 days. This game will be beaten. I'm beating this. I don't know when I'm gonna have internet at the new place, so I'm probably gonna be playing Assassin's Creed off stream. I'm still prepping for Evo. Boys, I don't want 2 ranks. We prepping. These buttons is getting pressed. But yeah, that was pretty much it. We gonna do some extra bounty prepping for a little bit, and then I'm gonna probably log off. Y'all got any plans for today, or y'all chilling? They showed the whole campaign mission too. I'll be right back. Just chilling? All right, give me 1 second.
have I done? Can someone remind me? Cause to me this soul is just a blur. The last thing that I remember is a party, then nothing else. How did I get here? Who is that man over there? Will I ever find out? It's all just a dream. Tell myself, never will I do this again. Tell myself, it's not worth it. Tell myself no, but who cares? Cause tonight I will party. Sail some rudder on the ship, rum and beer, I'll take a drink. And tomorrow I won't remember things. Sail some rudder on the ship, rum and beer, I'll take a drink. And tomorrow I will be hungover.
Bro, I used my 2 wonder picks to try and get Joker, and it gave me a freaking bike horn. I was so mad. I'm like, yo, let me get Joker real quick. They was like, nope. 2 bike horns. I got Morgana again. I'm mad. I want a skull, or I want an on or something. Can you tell, have you been playing P5X or no? I've not been playing P5X. Yo, they are not escaping the P5 allegations. They are not escaping the copying allegations at all, bro. But hey, man, it's P5, so. Oh crap, Milo brought up a good point. He was like, yo, if y'all resetting this back to Guardian rank 2, can y'all live and let us have our freaking slot still, please? But I do want to get my first end in the game. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. After 100 hours. 100 hours, 100 lines, 100 endings. About to like be like 4 hours into it. I haven't been playing since me either.
Game of Thrones King's Road is now available on both
Trash.
PC and mobile with Google Play Games. Explore the
I ain't gonna lie to you, this got out here. We good though. Not too hot. Not as hot as it was before.
Think I'm acting selfish, backstab saying you can't help it. If you are not a victim, please don't try to sell this. Tired of the lie, telling me you felt this, Think I'm acting selfish, backstab saying you can't help it. If you are not a victim, please don't try to sell this. Tired of the lies, telling me you felt this, Tell me what you want, I'll do what I'm supposed to. Up behind your back, yet I probably should have told you. I'm looking
gonna be playing like 2 hours and 4 hours probably. Vesper's farmable. Yes, sir. First farmable. No one's gonna do it though, cause I was excited because Vesper's farmable, which means I can go get my freaking. I can farm from my auto rifle, but I know nobody's gonna do it because freaking Friday the 9th is still available. So I gotta wait for Friday the 9th to be over. Don't forget to free write in the chat. Let's look at the store. Yo, I went and got my stuff for Barrel Dyad yesterday. I woke up at 10 o'clock, chat. I didn't get the last question I needed for target lock until like 30 minutes before I had to go to work. Which means I was opening and closing the nether for like 2 hours. I'm buying this. Ooh. Ooh. Tough. Cop. Y'all cop Dying Light 2? Or Dying Light 2? Freaking Death Stranding 2? I know you can do so then. Let's talk about Austin. Did y'all get Death Stranding 2? Let me turn this down. I missed first Australian so escape here. Bro, I got stuff I gotta do all this. I gotta edit these 2 videos. Get the thumbnails up. Bro, I need more ravenous worms. Oh my goodness. Yo, they announced freaking. I ain't gonna lie to you. Hold on. This is a 15-minute video. Hold on, chat. Hold on.
Summons.
I don't want to watch no Twitter. I do want to watch this Marvel Rival video, chat. So give me 1 second. The new patch notes just dropped. They just dropped the video on the new stuff. Let me watch this real quick. Hold on. It's 15 minutes. We're gonna speed through.
Hello everyone, Go on here. An all-new era is about to begin in Marvel Rivals, as we will now be launching a new season every 2 months. Get ready for more heroes and villains, brand new team-up abilities, and an epic feast of superpowered battles as the Marvel Rivals journey continues.
From the knowledge, it looks like Jean Grey and the Phoenix Force is kind of going to play like Cloak and Dagger, so you can swap between them because they're both on screen.
The Guardians of Galaxy's first expedition to Kalinta did not result in Now's destruction. Instead, they inadvertently awakened him. After lying dormant for so long, the guard of the symbiotes has finally found a way to break free from his traps. This time, by his side stands not only his loyal symbiotes, but also the Goddess of Death herself, his queen in black, Hela. The throne of abyss is rising, the celestial husk has fallen, and our heroes must find a way to counter all black, the Necro Sword, and burn away the encroaching darkness. Thankfully, Phoenix is ready to ignite the battle as she joins those.
Oh, she's a duelist. So we got 2 duelists this season?
Of the Phoenix Force. She can pressure tightly grouped enemies head on, or use her agile mobility to disrupt formations from the back.
I'm not inactive, I swear.
Mechanic delivers a whole new level of gameplay satisfaction. Additionally, her ultimate, where she merges with the Phoenix Force, doesn't just deal massive damage, it also has a special ability to clear enemy summons from the battlefield. Get ready to rise as the one and only Phoenix. This update introduces 4 new team-up abilities and retires 2. Since Season 0, we've added 7 new heroes, a 20% increase, and updated over 70% of all team-up abilities. Our goal is to continually deliver fresh, exciting experiences and fulfill every player's superhero dreams. We hope you enjoy the thrill of Marvel Rivals. With this in mind, we plan to release a brand new competitive mode in the later half of Season 3.5. Stay tuned for more details. And that's not all. Of course, the fan favorite Blade awakens and will be joining
3.5. So in a month we'll get Blade.
We're keeping the battle pass at 10 costumes, with pricing unchanged. To match the shorter season, we are boosting the amount of Colonel tokens.
Oh my! I'm buying the battle pass. I'm buying the battle pass. I'm buying. Who is that? Who? We got Symbiote Jeff, Symbiote Rocket. Is that Symbiote Squirrel Girl? I'm in there. Take my money. I'm in there. Take my money.
With previous seasons. We've also overhauled the mission system to better match player habits. We are removing daily missions and shifting their rewards elsewhere. Weekly missions are now persistent. Once unlocked, they remain available until the end of the season, so you won't miss out if you skip a week. But you will still need to complete each week's missions in order. We're also introducing season missions, a set of challenges that last all season and offer a load of Colon tokens. In Season 3, we're adding a new layer of hero customization with accessories. The first batch features 5 new items for Winter Soldier, Psylocke, Groot, Rocket Raccoon, Jeff the Land Shark.
The freak is that?
Woman, Emma Frost, and Spider-Man. You can earn accessory points.
Oh, it's like a little accessories you can put in yourself. That's cool.
In Season 3, we're adding a new layer of hero customization with accessories. The first batch features
on your thing.
Items for Winter
You can put it on your side of your screen. That's cool.
Groot, Rocket Raccoon, Jeff the Land Shark, Invisible Woman, Emma Frost, and Spider-Man. You can earn accessory points by participating in both quick match and competitive, then exchange them for your favorite hero bling. We are also bringing new chroma color variants to even more of your favorite costumes. Plus, some costumes will now offer a brand new customization option, Ultimate VFX. For clarity on the battlefield, these effects are visible only to you. Other players will still see the original effects during matches. Unlock these new color palettes and Ultimate VFX using
that's cool. So you can make it, you can change, it's not only for the skin no more.
From Season 3, you will be able to earn unstable molecules through the battle pass and events, making it easier than ever to personalize your heroes. We've heard your feedback. From Season 3 onward, you can mix and match MVP animations, use any costume, and equip any MVP from any other costume of the same hero. Plus, your team lobby background will now change to match your equipped costume, getting your unique style shine even before the battle begins. In Season 3, we've optimized the gallery system by merging serials and special editions into one. We've also added a new cinematics page that features cutscenes from all maps, allowing more enthusiasts to enjoy the narrative at any time.
Okay.
A new event tab has been added to the main lobby navigation, making it easier than ever to browse all the.
That's perfect.
We've also enhanced the post-match results screen. You can now quickly see your battle pass, events, and other progress as soon as the battle ends.
College student perks.
Season 3, verified university students will enjoy costume trials. Upon completing verification, university students can enjoy access to 10 costumes and MVPs. We're rolling out for students in the US, UK, and more, with even more regions soon. Be sure to check our official site.
I'm not in college, man.
Verified using your school email. Let our support team know, and they will work to add that university to the list. The new update supports the latest Discord SDK. Once you reconnect your Discord account, you will be able to chat with Discord friends directly in-game. You can also stay connected with your Marvel Rivals friends via Discord.
Bro, what? You could talk, you could whisper.
It's easier than ever to connect with your squad, both in and out of the game. Since launch, we've noticed that many players using NVIDIA graphics cards have experienced GPU crashes. Updating your NVIDIA drivers to version 576.80 or later will significantly reduce these issues. After the Season 3 update, the new client will no longer support replay playback from Season 2. Be sure to save any favorite replays to your local drive before Season 3 begins. Thank you for your understanding and support. In June,
alright, get to the team ups, bro.
8 teams have emerged from Marvel Rivals Ignite Stage 1.
Alright, get to the team ups.
As Wang mentioned, we are picking up the pace for Season 3, rolling up more fresh content faster than ever before. Team up abilities are evolving too. We will be introducing new team ups in both Season 3.0 and 3.5, syncing with new hero arrivals and ongoing balance tricks to give you a brand new gameplay experience. Now, let's dive into the dynamic team up changes in Season 3.0. Firstly, we have Primal Flame. Phoenix is the anchor in this new team up and infuses Wolverine with the Phoenix Force. When Wolverine unleashes his Pharaoh Leap, the Phoenix Force activates, burning nearby enemies.
It heals him?
And adding life steal to all of
Wolverine's banned. Well, she's getting banned. She's getting banned. She's getting banned. She's getting banned. Banned immediately. You will never see this team up.
Next, we introduce Ever Burning Bond. Human Touch is the team up anchor here, channeling his flames into a special gadget for Spidey. This unlocks a brand new team up ability. Spider-Man can now shoot a flaming web, dealing area damage and applying a burn chaser. Just like with his classic Spider Chaser, Spidey can use Get Over Here to zip to any enemy with a burn chaser, triggering an explosion for extra burn damage. And the best part is that burn chasers and Spider Chasers can both be attached, opening up a whole new world of combo possibilities for our friendly neighborhood hero. Both Storming Ignition and ESU alumnus will be retired.
Okay, no one uses these anymore. That's fine.
From play. Hela will be joining the symbiote shenanigans for a darker touch. Now, symbiotes have fused into Hela's
my goodness.
When it triggers. In addition to the original effect, symbiotes tend to slash out at enemies, linking them together.
That's crazy.
Slowing their movement as they are dragged toward the impact point. Squirrel Girl joins the Stark Protocol tag team up. Iron Man gives her a nanotech gauntlet, letting her command one of her squirrels to ride the glove. Thanks to its boosters, the squirrel homes in toward an enemy and explodes on impact, dealing damage. But don't worry, the adorable squirrel bails out before the blast. As Season 2.5 winds down, we can see that the arrival of Ultron, the era strategist, brought a fresh twist to the battlefield. First, the new triple strategist comp with Ultron joining traditional double strategist teams proved highly competitive this season. Ultron's formidable damage output lets him rain destruction on the enemy backline from above, maintaining relentless pressure. With his drones providing automatic healing, he can swiftly power up his ultimate ability, opening the door to even more tactical maneuvers for his team. His drones also make Ultron a perfect partner for other era duelists. Lineups centered around Ultron plus Iron Man or Human Torch excel at long-range poke, while Ultron's plus Stormfront a formidable support-centered comp, both striding in this season's meta. Next, after the Season 2.5 balance adjustments, Rockstorm comes, built around two hit-scan duelists, either both range or mid-close range plus ranged, paired with double-shoot Vanguards, performs strongly. Wolverine, the nemesis of this comp, made a powerful comeback. While Death heroes faced some nerfs this season, their counters, like Emma Frost's Diamond Form, were also turned down, and the thing hasn't been as dominant. Teams built around Magneto plus Venom or Captain America, with mid-close range or Death duelists, still pose a serious threat to enemy backlines in the hands of skilled players. Beyond this, team-ups like Rocket Network, Jeff NATO, Arcane Order, etc. have also delivered standout performances. Among Vanguards, we will be nerfing Emma Frost. While
no! Why? Leave Emma alone. I know she's strong. She just got nerfed. Leave her alone.
For the Thing, his new ability, Battle Blitz, will allow him to jump directly to a selected enemy and use his Storm Haymaker mid-air. If timed right, this can...
He got a new ability?
Among Vanguards, we will be nerfing Emma Frost, while buffing Venom and the Thing to diversify choices. For the Thing, his new ability, Battle Blitz, will allow him to jump directly to a selected enemy and use his Storm Haymaker mid-air. If timed right, this can even knock flying heroes out of the sky. We will continue exploring tweaks like this, giving Vanguards more options against arrow threats. Although these changes will be rolled out gradually as we test and refine them in the upcoming seasons. For duelists, Iron Man, the poster boy of poke, has been putting heavy pressure on ground-based heroes. We will be slightly reducing his poke potential to bring him back in line. The Punisher's counting turret has also been a bit too powerful, with his ultimate ability charging a little too fast after recent buffs, so he will see a minor nerf as well. We are also slightly turning down Mr. Fantastic's survivability in his inflated state, while appropriately boosting Nemo's primary attack and Scarlet Witch's ultimate. Rescoms have performed well, but their high coordination.
Whose ultimate?
Witch's ultimate.
Oh, Scarlet Witch.
Rescoms have performed well, but their high coordination requirements often lock Adam Warlock and Mantis together. Next season, we will slightly nerf the Garden Revival team-up ability.
Just get rid of it!
Mantis healing and ultimate ability utility to give teams more flexibility. For other strategists, we will modestly raise Invisible Woman's healing efficiency, nerf Loki's ultimate ability charge rate. Meanwhile, Ultron's impressive survivability and protective capabilities have proven highly adaptable across various team camps, but his strength has slightly exceeded expectations. Therefore, we will implement a slight nerf in the upcoming season. These are just some of the changes ahead. Keep an eye out for our full balance patch notes coming soon. We will also be sharing the hero pick and win race for season 2.5. So, stay tuned. Until next time, keep fighting, keep having fun, and as always, ignite the battle.
Alright, that was it. Man, why y'all nerfing Emma again? Leave her alone. Please. It's an absolute glorious day. I see our boy Guang Guang.
From season Discord friend and will no longer support our heroes must find addition to Kadinta did not read.
Man, that's cool. All right, back in. Good Lord. It's hot as a mug. We turn the fan on. If I'm streaming, the fan gotta be on. Woo. All right, let's go grab some bounties, I guess. Stay with me. Oh, no, no, tataki. Look at all these bounties I got, chat. I've been grinding, and there's more to grind to do. Let's go get these last worms and the freaking Silence of the Stone World, and for a barrel die, so I can finally be done with this thing and never pick it up again. We got a couple bounties left to do. We got 2 weeks of bounties, chat. So that last week before I dip, I'm gonna be doing like all the daily bounties. All the daily bounties is getting done. But yeah, we pretty much done, man. We are pretty much done. We are rounding down the end of the season. I should probably knock out some of these seasonal challenges because I still need a couple more. Excuse me. Yeah, but let's go get this freaking last couple of things. I got a couple more worms I need to get. But yeah, this video won't be too long. But good Lord. Tomorrow. Don't worry though, because we got a bunch of stuff. Like I said, today is going to be a short stream. I'm getting off at 4 to put the work in for these videos, to get them done and ready to go. So that the article, if y'all missed anything about the stream, it'll be up tomorrow. That article we read on Article My Thoughts going into Educate will be up on Friday. The article that they're dropping tomorrow, I'm assuming, because they said we're going to get an article on Wednesday. I'll have that uploaded tomorrow. Like after the article comes out, I'm going to edit it, get it up on the channel as soon as I can, and then I will probably be streaming until I have to go. I'm be doing one of those, like, y'all remember about a month or two ago, I just like streamed until like 4 or 5 in the morning. I'm going to do the same thing. Maybe that's when we get Educate done. That's when we get what's it called done. So that was that was the last live stream. We got this live stream was the last one. Then we got article tomorrow. I'm assuming this article is going to go over all of the sandbox changes. Then we got a TWAB on Thursday, which they could be a beefy one, because you know they be going crazy having an article on Wednesday and then drop a beefy TWAB on Thursday. But it could be a small one too. So a TWAB on Thursday. The thing is, I'm not gonna be here on Thursday. So if it's anything worth doing, I will come back and upload it on Saturday. So why isn't my freaking lamp working?